Here we go. Let's go. Smash those likes, baby. Bitcoin blasting off. Tap that screen, baby. Here we go. I'm Blockchain Crusader, crusading through these blockchains every single day, guys, and we're back for another live stream today. Here we are in the morning. It's 9:56 a.m. Eastern time, and guess what, guys? Bitcoin is on a massive uptrend right now. Last night, just got to give you a quick recap here before we jump into Bitcoin. Obviously, altcoins are moving up. 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗢 is up 13.4%. You might not be able to see it behind me, but here it is, 13.4% up today. Why is 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗢 up 13.4%? Well, it was just mentioned in a new ETF, a blue chip ETF. It's one of the few that was selected. It was Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Solana, and 𝗭𝗢𝗢 as the blue chips for the new blue chip NFT, ETF that Truth Social is out there pumping right now. They just applied for that with the S1 form. So that is obviously making 𝗭𝗢𝗢𝗢 pump nice and well today. Bitcoin last night, man, right? Last night we came all the way up to its daily average up here around 108, got rejected, fell all the way back down to the previous day low, sweeping this previous day low a second time after sweeping it earlier yesterday, right? Last night during the Asia trading session, we swept it again down at 107,480. And man, that was the move. That was the trade. That was the bottom. Because as you can see here, since then, during the Asia and London trading session, we have been nothing but in a major, major uptrend. Right now, Bitcoin is breaking out of this uptrend, continuing to push up higher, trying to get above the weekly open of 109,185. I was expecting, and I will continue to expect a potential pushback down to 108,171. That is the only area of interest that I have to take a long. I cannot long the highs, guys. I cannot long the highs. This is how you get wrecked, right? This is how you get wrecked. So right now, that is what's happening. I'm going to let everybody sink in here, start tapping those likes, smashing that subscribe. I greatly appreciate everybody in here right now. Make sure you guys are tapping those likes, baby. Tap it, tap it, tap it. Tap it like there's no tomorrow. Diamond in the house. Good to see you, Diamond. Good to see all of you guys jumping in here. But yes, quick little recap here. Bitcoin hit bottom yesterday at around Asia trading session time, around 10 o'clock at night. We came down, we swept this previous day low and Monday low one more time, and that was the complete bottom from yesterday, or I should say today, early in the morning, right? Asia trading session. It was late last night for us, and we have then since then been in a massive uptrend to the upside. We came up to the gold pocket up here in the value area high of the previous day range at 108.9. We came back to the heart line of the uptrend, and now we're breaking up back up again, trying to get above the weekly open at 109.182. We are struggling to get above here. It looks like we could potentially be sweeping this area, maybe potentially pushing back down. If we close below this London high right now in the next 9 seconds, this could be a big push, a good little reversal to the downside, but it looks like we might not be getting it. Nonetheless, I'm only interested in going long on Bitcoin if we come somewhere down in this area here between the VWAP, realistically down to the London NPLC of 108,171 to this potential gold pocket here of 107,941. That is the only area of interest I'm in for a long. If we don't revisit those levels, I'm just going to have to let the uptrend play out and let it do its thing until we can find an area where we actually have a good entry point to jump in. Because you can't long the highs, guys. If you long the highs, you're going to get wrecked. If you short the lows, you're going to get wrecked, right? I'm sure a lot of people last night saw this major pullback after being rejected off this daily average up here of 108,482 for Bitcoin. And we pulled all the way down to the previous day low of 107,487 again. I'm sure a lot of people were like, that's it. I'm going short. I'm going short. And guess what? This is why you don't short bottoms. This is why you wait for these sweeps of these lows to go long. This is why you wait for sweeps of the highs to go short, right? You short highs and you long bottoms, guys. That's the way it works, and you have to be patient. We waited all day yesterday. Look at this. Let's go a little recap of yesterday's trading day. Major downtrend, nothing but down, all the way down, 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 down. I didn't take a trade all day yesterday until around maybe like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, right? Around 2 or 3 in the afternoon. I was looking for this to play out, as you guys can see here, yesterday, right? Look at this. Yesterday, at 10:43 a.m., I looked for this trade, an entry around the 107,610 to 107,800 for a Bitcoin long. And guess what? That entry didn't come until practically almost at the end of the day yesterday, well into the afternoon. That's when we came down to the previous day low, right? We came to that area, we swept it. That's when I took the long. We went up, we hit our first TP within what? Let's see here. TP1 at 1:30 p.m. So literally after a few minutes, the trade wasn't active until 106. 106, I got into the trade. 1:30, we hit TP1. So in 25 minutes, give or take. And then I took partial profits, right? Waiting for TP2. Trade came back to entry, closed out the rest of the trade at break even. And then guess what, guys? I took the trade again when we swept this area, right? So we came up, we swept here, we came all the way up to TP1, we came down. We came down to the previous day low and the daily MPOC that was down here at 107.48. Got back into the long again, and I took the same long a second time and rode that bad boy all the way up for 320 some macaroons of yesterday, right? And that is patience. Patience played off. Wasn't greedy. Saw that we bounced back up towards the heart line of the downtrend. I closed my trade and let it ride. And guess what? Right now, gotta be patient. Same thing's happening. We came all the way down here. This was the trade to get into last night. We didn't get into it, right? It was late last night, around 10:30 p.m. Eastern time. Most of my followers were sleeping. I was about to go to sleep as well, so I didn't jump into the trade. And guess what? That was the trade to get into, because now we're all the way up at the weekly open, and I'm gonna be waiting for this potential pullback here. I'm gonna continue waiting. If we come down to this London MPOC of 108, 171. That is where I would be interested into jumping into a long. If we don't see it, no trade today, I guess. No trade today. Right now, I don't really feel comfortable taking a short at this area, even though I am expecting a pullback, right? We didn't get a clean sweep of the London high. We got a little bit of a sweep of the weekly open here, which is pretty good, but I'll just wait for that to pull back. Since we are in an uptrend, you don't want to fight the trend, right? You don't want to be shorting on an uptrend. I would just wait for the pullback, let the pullback play out. If it does, then I'll be looking for that long so we can push it back to the upside. Guys, appreciate every single one of you guys smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. Let's get it, let's get it, let's get it. Last night as well, another thing that we were looking at was I was looking for a potential long on Solana, actually. As you guys can see here, some daily updates right here. But Solana yesterday, perfect area down here at the daily open, looking for a run up to 151, the daily MPOC. As you guys can see here, I was looking for an area to long. Never actually took the long myself, but the technical analysis played out beautifully, man. Beautifully. Look at this. Beautifully. I mean, it just couldn't look any better than this. We came up to the daily average yesterday at 149. That's when Bitcoin started to have its pullback. Came all the way back to the low of this downtrend. Look at this. Came back down to the low of this downtrend, front running our previous day low. And then we started riding it back up, came back to our daily average, reclaimed that area, reclaimed to the previous day range, and took us all the way up to as high as 152, actually, the value area high of the previous day range, and hit all of our targets to the way up. Right now, like I said, not going to claim credit here for taking this trade. I did not take the trade, right? But nonetheless, I did let everybody in the Crypto Citadel know about what was going on here and what I was looking for Solana to the upside. Diamond, let's go jump into the chat here. Appreciate it. What would be your entry if it made a sweep this morning? Thank you. For what, Diamond? Are you talking about Solana or are you talking about Bitcoin? Which one are we talking about here? So right now, the potential short entry was the sweep of this weekly open. The weekly open at 109.188 was the potential entry here for a short, right? We did overextend on the upper band of the uptrend. We did sweep the weekly open, and now we're having a little bit of a rejection here coming down to 108. So that was the entry. The entry was 109.180. Now we're pulling back, right? And I'll be looking for a potential long around the daily open London NPLC of 108.171. That is where I will be looking for a potential entry here for a long. Give me a second. Boom. Oh yeah, the long I'm looking for the sweep of this daily open and London NPLC 108. So between 108.200 to about 108 flat is the area of interest here. I'll highlight this area here for you guys with a green rectangle. This is my area of interest. We come down here, we sweep this area. That is the area I'm looking for a long to jump back to the upside. We will be overextending below the uptrend. We'll be looking at this monthly London MPLC, gold pocket, and London low to hold for us to push back to the upside and continue the uptrend, right? Now, the uptrend can break. Don't get me wrong. The uptrend can break. It could be, the trade could be invalidated for sure. But that is the area of interest for me to put on some risk to potentially take a long here for Bitcoin. Appreciate all of you guys in here. Appreciate all of you guys smashing those likes. Let's make sure I'm not missing anybody in the chat. When are we going down from this pump? Audrey, right now we're going down. We swept the weekly open up at 109. Sweeping that, that is a nice little reversal here. Give some area to cool off for Bitcoin, as Bitcoin has been doing nothing but pumping since last night during the Asia trading session and London trading session. Come back down, retest the lows here, retest the VWAP, reset a little bit. This is the area of interest for a potential long to the upside. So that is what I'm looking for. Why not short it? Didn't get the entry. Didn't get the entry here. Looking really strong, looking very strong on an uptrend. Don't want to go against the trend, right? And short up here when the trend could just continue to blast off. You know how Bitcoin can get very irrational. So you don't want to fight the trends. You just want to let the trend play out and let it come to you. Let the trade come to you. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody else. All right, here we go. Bitcoin pulling back, 108,682. We're still pulling back. Appreciate it. Appreciate all the likes. Appreciate everybody in here smashing those likes. Let's get it. Drop your questions into the chat, guys. Drop your altcoins into the chat, and I will review them for you. I will not review them, but I'll do some technical analysis for them. Let's go take a look at Ethereum here in the meantime, as Bitcoin is dropping like it's hot right now. Ethereum also very, similar. We came all the way down to the previous day value area low. We started pushing back to the upside. We broke out of the previous day range. We're above the weekly open. We did sweep the the previous day high and the Monday high at 25.89, which is a reversal here. So if we lose this weekly open of 25.68, do expect another push down here to around 25.50 to about 25.40. That is my next area of interest to potentially long Ethereum today, right? Which is very similar to what Bitcoin is doing. As you guys can see here, very similar uptrend, sweeping some highs, coming back down to touch the London NPLCs, right? The London naked point of control, coming down here to some lows between the London and Asia time frame. Come down here, we sweep this area. That is the next entry here for a long on both these assets. That's what I'm looking for here. So Bitcoin still pushing back down, letting this uptrend play out right now. Let it come back down, let it reset around this area, and this is the area of interest for me to be jumping into another long. Hey, I'm from Nigeria. Please, I want to know if XRP will be high in price this month. Man, let's see here. Let's go take a look at XRP. I know a lot of people are in love with XRP. They want XRP to go to $10,000. It's never going to happen, but I'll cover XRP here for you on the daily time frame. So XRP, let me just get rid of some of these indicators, clean up this chart a little bit. Appreciate all the gifts. Appreciate all the likes. Thank you so much, guys. Keep sending them in. It really helps with the algorithm. So XRP right now, right, is in a slight uptrend here in the last 3 months in Q2 of 2025. Right, we're on a slight uptrend here. As you can see, we're about to come into this heart line. Once again, we've been getting rejected off this heart line around 231 for a few days now, more like since a week ago. Since June 29th, we've been getting rejected off this area. XRP needs to break above this heart line, this red line, right? This red line that you see here to start hitting some of these targets, 236 to 239 or some local gold pocket and weekly average that are untapped. Getting above 242 will continue to be critical here as it was major resistance throughout the month of May. Once we can get above 242, we do have a target up at 257, right? But this target overextends XRP outside of this larger time frame uptrend. Doesn't mean that we can't go into a steeper uptrend. We definitely can, but I'm just saying we will have to break out of this macro uptrend into a steeper inclined uptrend, breaking above 257 to run for 277. That is our next big target. It's a gold pocket here at the value area high of Q1. And then above that, we have the monthly MPOC of $3.10. That is where I'm looking for XRP. Now, areas to the downside for support. We do have the Q2 point of control down at 215. Meanwhile, we stay above that. The trend continues. Now, if we fall below 215, you guys already know that this area between 208 to about 195 has been major support for XRP since December. So this has always been a very good entry point since December in the last 6 to 7 months to either scoop up XRP in the long term, which I highly don't recommend, nor do I do. But if you're going to enter a trade, that would be the area to trade for a short-term trade, right? For a leverage trade, for a futures trade. This would be the area of interest between 208 to 195. That is the area of interest. That has been the support to look for a long and jump to the upside. And it's been working out since like butter, since the beginning of since 2025. Okay, Bitcoin is dropping a little bit hot here, has come in contact or coming into contact with our VWAP here around 108,467. We're currently at 108,535. We will see here if this VWAP can hold. Hopefully we can wick down to this 108,171. We need to start getting ready here to potentially go into a, oops, don't know what the heck is that. We are, where did my thing go? Here we go. We need to get ready here for a potential long. If we do come down here quickly, sweep this area to be jumping in and taking that long if it presents itself, right, guys? It's all about if it presents itself. Well, we might not get it, right? We might not get it. We're coming here to the VWAP. VWAP is showing some support here. We're coming to it, so we will see. Appreciate everybody tapping those likes. Appreciate everybody smashing the subscribe. Grouper Duper, what's going on, Grouper Duper? Good to see you, brother. Can we have a quick analysis on Sui? Saw that he benefits from okay, let's go take a look at Sui. Let me know if anything crazy happens with Bitcoin in the meantime. Let's go take a look at Sui here real quick. Let the chart load up. Bitcoin coming down like it's hot right now. All right, so Sui overall, currently we are just within the June range here. Nothing special. We've already hit our little targets, monthly average, quarterly average around 288, 292. We are making higher lows. As you can see here, we had the low back in June 22nd. That's when Bitcoin dropped down to 98,000. Since then, we've been making higher lows. If we continue in this trend, we will potentially break out above $3, getting above this area here of resistance of above $3.28. We have a gold pocket up at 359, which lines up with the value area low of May. Once Sui can get back into the May range and stay above 359, our main targets to the upside are 388 to 390. Those are the main targets for the month of May. Right now, breaking out of the month range for May puts Sui above $4, and its main target to the upside will be $4.81 at that point in time. If we get a regression trend here for the last quarter, let's get it. April 1st all the way to the end of June. You guys can see we are in a nice uptrend for SUI. We came up towards the highs, we came back down. We are currently at these lows of these overall Q2 range. So it's not a terrible area to be looking for some potential long-term low leverage longs, potentially maybe some dollar cost averaging. Obviously never financial advice, but that's what I'm looking at for SUI here. Let's go back on Bitcoin. Let's check in. Bitcoin having a nice push off this Asia high. We will see if it holds. Like I said, my trade, the trade that I'm looking for is a long down here. That is what I'm looking for. If we don't get it, we don't get it. If it gets invalidated, it gets invalidated. But this is the next area of interest to put on some risk here, is at this London NPOC of 108.171. A little extension below the uptrend, hit the gold pocket, hit the London NPOC, and quickly start recovering above the VWAP here to start taking some profits on that trade if it plays out. Making sure, just following up here, making sure I'm not missing anybody. All right, looks like Bitcoin might still push a little bit lower. Who knows? We'll see here. We got to keep an eye on it, guys. This is all about, this is what it takes to be a profitable trader, guys. You have to be patient. You have to be patient, and just wait for your trade. Let the trade come to you. Don't try to force and trade every single candle, every single little move to the upside, right? Because look how simple it is. When we came up here, right, at around 7, whatever it was, trading session time, London trading session, 6 in the morning, whatever it was, we came up to this gold pocket. You're like, oh, time to short. But look, it only came down to this heart line and then it came right back up. So if you were to short here and you weren't super aggressive on taking profits around this heart line, you would have gotten stopped out. You would have gotten stopped out because Bitcoin reversed right back up to the weekly open of 109, right? So that is a thing to be looking for, to just wait for the optimal trades. Don't try to long and short every single opportunity because you're not going to stay profitable long. Bitcoin is pulling back. Let me get ready here. Let me get ready. GM Crusader, can you pull up Alchemy Pay, please? I'll take a look at that in a little bit. We're trying to see if we can jump into a Bitcoin long here if certain targets are hit. Meme Sniper, what's going on? Appreciate all of you guys tapping those likes. Appreciate all of you guys hitting those subscribes. Talk about Bitcoin's next move and when. Well, currently we're talking about it right now. Potentially coming down to 108.171 to 108 flat is the next area here of interest to potentially take a long and let this bad boy ride if we get it right. Where Bitcoin is showing some support here at this VWAP. We'll see. We might not get it. It is a little bit of a hyper extension below the uptrend so far. So we'll see, man. We'll see. If we don't get it, we don't get it. It's okay. Trading is all about capital, about not losing money. So meanwhile, you don't lose money, you had a good trading day. It's okay if you didn't make any money, but it's a lot worse if you take 50 trades in one day and you end up losing money all day long, right? At the end of the day, you're not profitable. So there's no point in taking trades and risking money if you don't have a good confluence of, hey, this is the area to put some risk on. There's always risk in every trade you take. But you got to try to minimize that risk as much as you can and, just take the most optimal trades you can find. Yo, man, do you see bots to take trade? I mean, trading crypto. You talk about meme coin bots. Meme coin bots are good, right? Because they let you get front run a lot of transactions and stuff like that then versus the average person jumping in. But regular bots, like regular trading, like trading Bitcoin, trading Ethereum, trading any type of other asset that's not a meme coin, right? Those bots don't work, man. Those bots just don't work. They're not profitable long term. People sell those bots to make money, but if those bots were extremely profitable, they would just keep that bot to themselves and make all the money, right? They would just use that bot themselves. Nobody would know the strategy to that bot except for the person that created it, and they will eventually just print endless amount of money with their bot. But they don't do that, right? The first thing they do is, I got a trading bot. You can trade all these things and you don't ever have to learn technical analysis. That's what they're selling you on, right? And then guess what? The bot makes a few profitable trades, but in the long term, it never remains profitable. Meme Snapper, thank you for the gift, man. Thank you for the roses. Greatly appreciate it. Greatly appreciate it. Bots are good if you know what you're using them for. For meme coins, they're good. For regular trading, not so good. Not so good. Appreciate everybody jumping in here. Appreciate everybody tapping those likes. Let's make sure I'm not missing anybody in any of the chats. All right. Thank you so much for the analysis. I have one more SEI. A lot of TVL, but no price change. Yeah, man. I've been looking at SEI here for a bit now. I actually did a video on it quite recently. Let me see over here. Go on over to my channel. When was the last time I did a video on SEI? Wasn't long ago. Yeah, 12 days ago I did a video on SEI, right? Some danger zones, some potential targets here for SEI. So let's go take a quick look here at SEI. Meanwhile, Bitcoin figures out what it's trying to do. SEI, guys, by the way, if you're not in the Crypto Citadel, my private trading community, definitely do so and join. That's where you get all the exclusive analysis. That's where you get all the exclusive signals, long-term macro analysis, trading signals, and a lot more, and exclusive live streams as well. So definitely do that. It pays for itself if you're trading actively, and just literally the amount of value of information you get there every day is ridiculous. Let's get the month of June. All right, let's get Q2. All right, cool. So we have a quarterly NPOC and monthly NPOC down at 20 cents for what you call it, for SEI. There you go, that was the name. SEI, right? That's an area of interest here. We are within the Q2 range and the June range. So the likelihood of coming down to 20 cents is pretty good that we come down there. It's, we're at 25 cents right now. It's not like any type of major retracement or pullback, but it's just something to be aware of. Once you're within a range, you're most likely to rotate that range to those certain targets. We have a little mini gold pocket down around 21 cents as well. SEI needs to break above and hold above 28 cents, which is the Q1 value area high as well, and the June value area high. Once we can start closing dailies and actually maintaining this area of support above 28 cents, local targets to the upside are 35 to 36. Above that zone, we have a gold pocket, a quarterly untapped average, and a monthly untapped average between 48 cents to 52 cents to the upside. And then our yearly untapped average, which remains above the December value area high of 2024, is at 58 cents to the upside for SEI. So in the short term, targets to look for down are between 21 to 20 cents. Once we start bouncing off that area, targets to the upside to look for above 28 cents are between 35 to 36 in the short term. In the longer term, between 48 to about 52. Let's go take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's dropping, baby. Bitcoin's dropping. Magic in the house. What's going on? Diamond says, Crypto Citadel is worth its money and weight in gold. Appreciate that, brother. Appreciate the kind words. Let me start getting my exchange ready over here. Where are we? Come on. Start getting ready here. Going to potentially be entering this long here sooner than I thought, but here we go. Here we go. Let's see if it plays. Good morning, bro. Hope the family is well. Update on Pendle and Lido Magic. 100%, man. We'll do an update on that here real soon. Just waiting to see how this trade plays out. See if we get the strong bounce, right? Because it's not just about hitting that target. It's about showing some support, showing some resistance, some strength at those areas. We are kind of overbought here on the 1 hour. Let's go see the 4 hour. The 4 hour is pretty neutral still. 2 hour. Let's go take a look at the 2 hour. 2 hours pretty neutral as well. Not greatly neutral, but it's overall neutral. The 1 hour is the one that's overbought. Frame under that. So let's take a look here. See how this thing plays out. Do we get this nice bounce off this area? Do we get a nice sweep off this area and push back up higher or not? Eddie Parker in the house. What's going on, brother? Eddie Parker, another Crypto Citadel member in the house. Good to see you, man. Good to see all of you guys smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. Let's see here. Maybe we have time to jump into Pendle. Let's go take a look at Pendle here real quick. In the meantime, Pendle. All right. We've hit these targets. Clear this up. All right, let's get Q2 range. Let's get June range. Okay. All right. So right now for Pendle, we do have a naked point of control down around 320. And we have a naked point of control for the month of June up at 375. Let's get some quarterly averages here. All right, that's been tapped. Monthly. Let me recheck on Bitcoin. All right, Bitcoin's just still chilling. We got monthly right there. Okay, cool. So Pendle right now, let's get the regression trend for the quarter as well. Don't mind the dog, guys. It's just my everyday life. Yeah, I know the other mic was much better, but I've been having technical issues with the mic recently. I don't know what's going on with it, so I bought a new one. It'll be getting here, I'm pretty sure, today, and then it'll be ready to be used tomorrow. So sorry for that, guys. I know the mic has been garbage lately. All right, so Pendle, let me quickly check on Bitcoin. All right, Bitcoin's still there. We're good. Right now, Pendle is, falling out of its Q2 uptrend. It's coming down here. We do have a Q2 NPOC down at 320. We're currently sitting at 336. So don't be surprised if we tap that there. Hopefully we tap that, bounce back up. If we can get above 370 to 375, we can re-enter the uptrend for Q2 range, right? If we do that, our main resistance area to the upside is around 447, which is the yearly pivot. Once we can break above that, we have a gold pocket at 528, and we have a monthly naked point of control up at $6.10. Meanwhile, we continue to follow the trend to the upside. But right now, we are outside of the trend. We are on the way down. If we get here the last 2 months, right, the last 2 months here, we're probably in a downtrend. Yeah, we're in a slight downtrend to the last 2 months here. Don't want to overcomplicate the chart, but we need to tap 320, bounce, and get back above 375 to continue the push to the upside for Pendle. Please, our entry for Bitcoin is at where? Right now, looking for an entry for Bitcoin down below the uptrend here, currently around the London NPOC between 108, 171 to about 108 flat. Right, it really depends on whether we find support, right? Find some strong support there. A strong bounce would be a hyper extension of to the downside below this uptrend. I would love to see a quick wick down there and a quick recovery back to the upside. We did close back above the VWAP here once again now on the 15-minute. So we'll see if the VWAP can hold. If the VWAP holds, we get no trade. And obviously coming down here, we are, full ranging this uptrend. We did sweep the weekly open and having a strong reversal here on the 1 hour. We are overbought. So I am looking for a strong support bounce off this area here between 108, 171 to about 108 flat. If we don't see a strong bounce, right, we could break the uptrend and just continue pushing back down. But that is the area where I'm willing to put on some risk. I'm willing to put on some risk around that area for Bitcoin. Obviously, the Crypto Citadel was told about this for hours now. They've known about this signal. They know the condition of when to trigger it, and I will obviously be telling them when to get in. If you like getting those type of exclusive, I'm giving you a freebie today, guys. I'm giving you guys a freebie here. I gave you guys a free potential long for Bitcoin and a free potential long for Ethereum, right? If we get it. That's the way it is. But if you like getting those type of signals, you like getting that type of exclusive analysis, make sure you're joining the Crypto Citadel. That is where you're going to be getting it every single day. And it like Diamond said, it pays itself, right? It's worth its weight in gold. Appreciate everybody jumping in here. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes. Bitcoin having a little push here right now, finding support on the VWAP. We might not get the long. We might not, guys. It's okay. Or it might just take a lot longer to play out than I expected, right? It might take a few more hours before we get that entry. Who knows? Let's see here. Let's go take a look at Lido. Lido was the other altcoin requested. Lido. Where's my Lido chart, man? Where's my chart? What the heck, man? I know I have a chart for this thing. All right, cool. It's not showing up, so we're just going to use Coinbase. We're just going to have to make it on the fly here. Let's get Q2. Lido's been pretty flat all of Q2, let me tell you. Pretty flat. Let's get Q1. Q1 of 2025. Boom. All right. Q1 NPLC. Q2 NPLC. Let's get some yearlies. Quick little check on Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin's still doing okay. Nowhere near our target. Let's get quarterly. All right. Quarter average. Oops, interesting. Q2 NPLC and quarterly average. All right, let's get some monthlies here. Almost done with Lido. We've got one monthly all the way up here. Now let's get Gold Pocket, and we should be done. Let's get a Gold Pocket from the high of 2025. We can get the high of December, that's fine. To the local lows. Boom. Perfect. Let's get a regression trend here for Q2. Regression, flat. Trend is pretty much flat. Q1. Let's see what the Q1 trend looks like. Straight down. All right. No real strong trend. Let's go take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin having that strong bounce right now. We'll see. We'll see. All right. So Lido right now, we are below the value area low of the Q2 range, right? We're currently sitting at 71 cents for LIDO. We have a naked point of control and a quarterly untapped average up at 84 cents within the Q2 range for LIDO. Above that, if we can break above the value area high for Q2, which is above $1, we have a 382 fib retracement at 130 and an untapped quarterly average of 137. So those are our short-term targets. Once we can start breaking above the Q2 value area high of $1. Now above $1.37, targets to the upside there are within the Q1 range. Q1 range value area low starts at around the 149, getting above 149 gives us the opportunity to run for 159 to about 181. Well, 181 is a gold pocket, a Q1 NPLC. So 181 should be expected to be strong resistance for sure for LIDO. So that would be a nice area to potentially take some big profits from. If we look at where we are right now, right, from the current price action to our first target of the Q2 NPLC, it's a 16% pump to the 382 fib at 130 is 80% pump, quarterly average, which is 137, 90% pump. Getting to the monthly average within the Q1 range is 121% pump, and getting to the Q1 NPLC gold pocket is 152% pump to the upside for LIDO. Bitcoin, man, is turning it on, but having a strong bounce here, wicked all the way down to the lower band of this uptrend, closed above the VWAP, getting a strong bounce here. Like I said, doesn't mean that we still can't come down here. It just means that we're going to continue probably seeing some more sideways chop before, you know, potentially coming down, which is good because right now we are very overbought on the 30-minute and on the 1 hour, right? We want this to cool off a little bit. So when we come down here to the London NPLC, we are technically, you know, oversold at that point in time. But like I said, we might not get it. Bitcoin is in an uptrend. The trend is your friend until the end. It did come to the lower end of the trend. I was hoping for a wick all the way down here, right? We just might not get it. This might be the bounce. If we can get above this heart line, this might be the bounce to continue pushing up higher, back to the upside. Once we do reclaim the weekly open, right, let's start looking for some bigger targets to the upside, even if this short doesn't play out. If Bitcoin reclaims this weekly open at 109 to 177, our next big target to the upside is the Monday high and previous day high. The previous day high at 109,737. 109,739, which is right below the previous all-time high of 109,880, which has been strong resistance. We break above that area and we're running for the previous week high of 110,561. And then from there, you know, we have potential leg room to run for all-time highs. But that is what we're looking for if we get above the weekly open of 109,182. We are looking for 109,739. Above that, we're looking for the previous week high of 110,561. But like I said, we will see what comes first, the weekly open or this London NPLC down at 108. We shall see, guys. Papi Chulo, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you, man. Appreciate all of you guys in here. Appreciate all of you guys tapping those likes. And make sure I'm not missing anybody in the chat. Is Arbitrum going to $1? Great question. Is Arbitrum going to go to $1? Arbitrum obviously has gotten some good news here recently with Robinhood using Arbitrum. Was it Robinhood? I believe so. I believe, yes, Robinhood is working with Arbitrum so that Robinhood could have its own Robin chain or whatever it is. And they're tokenizing securities, which is obviously Arbitrum is a layer 2 for Ethereum, showing that the adoption for Ethereum is still there. And could this possibly be good for Arbitrum? Yes, this could definitely be good for Arbitrum if it really starts to kick off some strong volume, right? Some strong TVL into the chain. But so far, we're still in a slight uptrend overall. We're right at the point, pretty much at the point of control for the month of June. Here, our targets to the upside is getting above this heart line, getting above 37 to 40 cents for Arbitrum, and then making a test for 47 cents again, which is the Q1 point of control 47 cents is the quarter one point of control. Getting above that, we do have an untapped quarterly average of 52 cents. And then obviously above 52 cents, we have the quarter one value area high around 64 cents. Getting above that opens us up for a potential run for 70 to 73 cents with a gold pocket up around 88 cents. Honestly, I'm not super excited about Arbitrum. I don't really see anything too exciting about it. There's a lot of layer twos for Ethereum. There's Optimism, there's Arbitrum, there's Blast, there's Base, right? And Base doesn't have its own coin, but it does have a network, and it's very, very good. And a lot of people like using it. It's very cheap as well. So it's good that Robinhood chose Arbitrum, but we'll see if it actually ever, manifests into anything. Bitcoin still having a nice little pump to the upside here, fighting this heart line on the uptrend right now. Breaking through, trying to see, we got 3 minutes left on this 15-minute candle. Very strong push to the upside, by the way. Very strong. Good to see everybody. Okay, getting a little bit of a rejection here off the heart line. Okay, maybe we still got some. Maybe we still have some hope for our entry here, guys. Sometimes we just gotta wait. It's like when you go hunting, right? When people go hunting, have you ever seen Meat Eater? Right? You go hunting, and sometimes you spend days waiting and waiting, and you're just glassing the area, right? Glassing, looking for the animal, looking, right? You're just glassing, looking with your binoculars everywhere, yada yada, and it takes days to even see one. It might take days to even get a decent size potential to, take the opportunity, right? Because you can't just go at any animal at any distance at any moment in time. The distance needs to be right. The wind conditions need to be right. The animal position needs to be right. That's exactly what trading is like. You have to wait for those opportune moments. Sometimes it takes hours. Sometimes it takes days, right? It all depends on your strategy to find that opportune moment and really take your opportunity and let it pay off. And that's the most similar event to trading that there is. People that are, not patient, not willing to wait, are never going to get that payoff. Can you check Uni, please? Yes, I'll take a look at Uni here. Let me go take a look at Uniswap. Uniswap still making higher lows, still holding that uptrend that we've been looking at for quite some time. Let's get the regression trend here from April 1st to the end of June. Nice uptrend, still being held. Very, very nice. June 1st till June 30th. Monthly. Let's get the quarterly. Quarterly's been tapped as well. So yeah, overall targets for Uniswap remain the same, right? We are still in a slight uptrend, making lower highs, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows. For Uniswap, our targets are between 875 to 922. Those are our short-term targets to the upside. Once we can have a true breakout for Uniswap, next big targets are going to be 1025. Above that is 1257 to 1329, and then we have a gold pocket up at 1425 for Uniswap. Slow and steady wins the race with Uniswap for sure. As Ethereum continues to get more bullish, Uniswap is definitely going to ride that train to the upside. Guys, I appreciate every single one of you guys in here. Appreciate all of you guys tapping those likes, hitting that subscribe. If you haven't joined the Crypto Citadel, definitely do so. Get all the macro long-term analysis you wish for your long-term dollar cost averaging bags. Get all the trading signals you want for any asset of your choice. I trade mainly focused on Bitcoin, but if obviously you want to trade some other altcoins, all you gotta do is request it. Like this morning, I was giving potential areas for a Ethereum long here, which I gave to you guys for as freebie, as a little freebie, giving you guys a gift here of what people get in the Crypto Citadel. Bitcoin having a nice little pullback right now, very, very nice. Still giving us some potential hope that this long entry might come to fruition. But guys, like I said, appreciate everybody being in here. Appreciate everybody smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe, and I appreciate everybody that's joining the Crypto Citadel. Definitely, if you're not investing in yourself, I don't know what you're doing. That's the only way to continue advancing in this game, to continue growing as an investor, as a trader, as a person in the markets, right? Growing your knowledge is by investing in yourself. And that's what the Crypto Citadel is all about. It's all about investing in yourself and learning to do these things for yourself and, getting resources. That's how people make money, guys. People make money not because they're the smartest people, not because they're the most dedicated people. It is because they have resources and they put those resources to work. And if you don't have knowledge, you got to buy it, right? If you don't got money, then you got to find a way to make more money to buy those resources. And that's how people scale businesses. That's how people make businesses successful, is by using money as a resource to get more resources, to get more information, to get more data, to get more employees, to get more money. That's just the way it works, guys. So I appreciate every single one of you guys being in here. Appreciate all of you guys hanging out with me, smashing those likes, hitting that subscribe. I'm Blockchain Crusader, crusading to these blockchains every single day. And I'll see you guys in the Crypto Citadel. See ya.